Exploring Lovecraft, a beginner's guide to the Cthulhu Mythos. H.P. Lovecraft's horror fiction has captivated readers for over a century with its heady blend of cosmic dread, existential horror, and uniquely unsettling visions. The prolific writer created what is now known as the Cthulhu Mythos, an expansive fictional universe filled with ancient alien entities, blasphemous cults, and terrifying tomes of eldritch knowledge. For the curious newcomer, delving into Lovecraft's oeuvre can seem a daunting task. His style is dense and archaic, utilizing ornate vocabulary and complex sentence structures. His works are packed with references to his own elaborate mythology of cosmic forces and cyclopean cities that can bewilder the uninitiated. However, by starting with some of his most accessible and iconic tales, one can become immersed in the unique brand of weird fiction that has inspired countless writers, artists, filmmakers, and creators in the decades since. Let's delve into this beginner's guide to all things H.P. Lovecraft. The Call of Cthulhu, 1928. Widely regarded as Lovecraft's seminal work and one of the greatest horror stories ever written, this famous novella describes a young man's fateful investigation into bizarre cult activities and the unspeakable cosmic entity known as Cthulhu. Through a masterful blending of narratives relayed through recovered accounts, Lovecraft unveils shocking revelations about the true nature of reality and humanity's insignificant place within it. With its gripping story, memorable cosmic horror elements, and iconic metaphysical implications, The Call of Cthulhu is an ideal introduction to the concepts and mythology at the core of the Cthulhu Mythos. The Dunwich Horror, 1929. This early gem blends horror and fantasy as learned men from the nearby Miskatonic University confront an ancient and malign force unleashed in the isolated hills of Dunwich, Massachusetts. As sinister events transpire, they realize the threat is a manifestation of long-dormant supernatural powers intent on bearing unholy offspring. Lovecraft's skills at building an atmosphere of escalating dread through exquisite descriptions of the rural landscape are on full display. Darker themes surrounding heredity, degeneration, and the notion of the civilized world under threat from primordial forces intertwine in one of his most chilling tales. The Shadow over Innsmouth, 1936. Considered by many to be Lovecraft's crowning masterpiece, this literary achievement follows a young man who discovers the terrifying secrets behind his family's ties to the decaying, decrepit coastal town of Innsmouth. As he digs deeper, he uncovers the town's association with a cult that has interbred with a species of degenerate, fish-like humanoids who worship the ancient cosmic deities of the Cthulhu Mythos. Brilliant descriptions of a creeping menace, crushing atmosphere of hopelessness, and gut-wrenching body horror make this a must-read that exemplifies Lovecraft's talents. At the Mountains of Madness, 1936, Lovecraft's epic tale recounts a disastrous Antarctic expedition in which an unsettling series of events leads a group of explorers to uncover shocking evidence of an ancient alien civilization. Perhaps the very origins of all life on Earth and the cosmic forces that shaped it. With its immaculately crafted scenes of discovery amidst that harsh, unknowable landscape, the slow build to revelations of staggering implications and harrowing encounters with entities that defy comprehension, At the Mountains of Madness exemplifies Lovecraft's unmatched ability to blend science fiction and horrific elements in service of his trademark cosmicism. The Rats in the Walls, 1924. This deeply disturbing short story sees an American heir move into his family's antiquated ancestral home, only to uncover unspeakable horrors dating back to the medieval era that reveal an even more cosmic truth. As he delves deeper, evidence mounts of his forebears' depraved activities and unholy connections to remote, ancient civilizations. A personal favorite of Lovecraft's, it packs visceral terrors into a taut narrative while touching on fears surrounding heredity, violence, and humanity's dark impulses. The Color Out of Space, 1927. Lauded as one of Lovecraft's most effective and brilliant tales, this unforgettable story follows the tragic downfall of a farming family after a meteor brings a sort of extraterrestrial blight that corrupts and mutates all that it touches in the isolated New England countryside. Praised for its rich mythology, Lovecraft's skillful creation of a palpable atmosphere of alienness and the deep sense of existential dread evoked, this work exemplifies the core principles at the heart of his cosmic horror vision. Once those key stories have been read and savored, the newcomer can further explore some of Lovecraft's other acclaimed tales that delve deeper into the lore and mysteries of the Cthulhu Mythos. The Whisperer in Darkness immerses readers in the activities of an extraterrestrial race known as the Mi-Go, who conduct grisly experiments on humans in the Vermont countryside. A masterclass in building suspense and paranoia. The Haunter of the Dark centers on an ancient entity trapped within an accursed gem that corrupts all those who look upon it. Considered one of Lovecraft's most stylistically polished works. The Shadow Out of Time follows a professor who discovers his mind has been displaced across the eons into the consciousness of a primordial extraterrestrial race with terrifying implications. A tour de force blending of sci-fi and horror concepts. From there, the curious reader may wish to venture deeper into Lovecraft's creative vision by exploring other facets of his work. His poetry and essays provide context into his philosophical foundations and creative process. His legendary collaborations with other members of the Weird Tales writers' circle like Clark Ashton Smith, Robert E. Howard, and August Derleth flesh out the Cthulhu Mythos in fascinating ways. Lovecraft has exerted an immense influence on creators in various media in the decades since his passing in 1937. Modern authors, heavily inspired by his unique perspective on cosmic horror, like Thomas Ligotti, Caitlin R. Kiernan, and John Langan, have added new dimensions to the genre. Films like Reanimator, The Mist, and Prometheus adapt his creations and concepts. Even video games, comics, music, and tabletop RPGs bear the unmistakable mark of his bold vision. The journey through Lovecraft's richly atmospheric tales is not for the faint of heart. His singular prose style can be an obstacle, laden as it is with esoteric vocabulary and baroque descriptions. Moreover, his habit of hinting at deeper truths and subverting conventional notions of morality and human importance can be disquieting for some. But for those who embrace the unsettling principles at the core of Lovecraft's work, that humanity is a tiny, unimportant speck in a vast, unknowable universe governed by ancient cosmic mechanisms completely indifferent to our existence. His stories can be a transformative experience in existential and philosophical horror. By first grounding themselves in his finest stories, the diligent reader can become fully initiated into the disquieting yet captivating realms of the Cthulhu Mythos, a seminal artistic accomplishment that still reverberates through culture today. Here is a suggested reading order to get you started. 1. The Call of Cthulhu. 2. The Dunwich Horror. 3. The Shadow over Innsmouth. 4. At the Mountains of Madness. 5. The Rats in the Walls. 6. The Color Out of Space. 7. The Whisperer in Darkness. 8. The Haunter of the Dark. 9. The Shadow Out of Time. 10. Explore his poetry, essays, and collaborations. H.P. Lovecraft's weird fiction opened up new vistas of terror by conceiving a universe governed by vast, indifferent cosmic forces that dwarf humanity's significance. His creation of the expansive Cthulhu Mythos, with its cyclopean cities, omnipotent alien entities, and forbidden books of eldritch lore, provided a framework to explore these unsettling existential concepts through uniquely compelling narratives. While Lovecraft's florid, archaic prose style can be an obstacle for some modern readers, persevering through his most iconic stories like The Call of Cthulhu at the Mountains of Madness and The Shadow over Innsmouth provides an incomparable initiation into his disquieting vision of cosmic horror. By embracing the core tenet that humanity's light is but a brief flicker in the cosmos's endless blackness, one can fully experience the profundity and imaginative depths of Lovecraft's mystic realms. For those intrigued by the weird and the unsettling, by questions of humanity's purpose and place in the cosmos, the trepidation of confronting the other, Lovecraft's oeuvre stands as a crucial waypoint. With an open mind and stout constitution, one can drink deeply of his creation's heady admixture of terror, awe, and profound metaphysical speculation. From these depths, a strange universe awaits you, so why not pick up some Lovecraft and be ready to unhinge your perceptions of reality? If you have enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe.